Clear. Manzanillo, Mike, Zulu Oscar. $10,000 feet. Mike, Zulu Hotel. So that's Ixtapa Zihuatanejo. I don't think I'm saying that right. Flight plan. So we are taking off. Let me see if I'm live yet. Live. I don't know why I'm not seeing my. Trying to see the video on YouTube. Am I broadcasting? I am. Testing 1, 2. Testing 2. For some reason I can't pick it up on my tablet. My tablet is slower than my phone. So we'll just go ahead and deal with it. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to fly from Manzanillo. And now it's got the weather on there. And we're going to fly there to Mike Zulu Hotel, which is Ixtapa Zihuatanejo. Shit, I'm not saying that right at all. Let's go ahead and get started here. Let's see, I want to turn on my transponder. On. Get the weather here shortly, but we'll go ahead and contact the ground, and then we're going to be departing south.
Manzanillo ground, Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie ready to taxi south departure.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie taxi 2 and hold short of runway 28 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Taxi 2 and hold short runway 28 via taxiway Alpha Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Looking at the weather, and we have some thunderstorms this afternoon on the way, and you can see, actually, as I'm steering here and looking over here, you can see some weather right there. So what we're going to do, I guess, we're just going to taxi to the end of the runway. Might as well, and a back taxi. If you were on the flight, the last flight on the way into Manzanillo, I had a very big surprise coming into Manzanillo. I landed, and there was a Category 1 hurricane going on at the time. And it was a blind landing. I used the visual approach with the Garmin G1000 and made it to the runway. But it's definitely something that you wouldn't do in real life. But I made it to the runway using the visual approach mode in the Garmin G1000. So I tell you what, the Garmin G1000 is definitely the way to go when it comes to flying with a Cessna or with any, prop plane, in my opinion. The G1000 is definitely I would, of course, you know, I was in autopilot the whole time, but with the G1000, it just, you know, without that visual approach mode that the G1000 has, there's just no way I could have made it. Of course, in real life, you wouldn't want to be flying in that kind of weather anyway, incessantly. But it was fun, you know, it was just a good experience. So let's go ahead and request takeoff clearance.
Manzanillo Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie ready for self departure at runway 28.
Put the
Cessna
altimeter,
November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie altimeter 29.83
low
wind
pressure,
294 at 15. Self departure approved.
15
Cleared for
knot
takeoff runway 28.
crosswind there.
Cleared for takeoff runway 28 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Here we go. Synchronize the heading. Full power, full mixture. Airspeed is alive. We're rotated 55. I put about 75% fuel in here. And we'll go ahead and rotate. Autopilot, that keeps my roll, my pitch, flight level change, heading. We'll go ahead and hit the nav. We are on the cruise for south departure. Nav is loading. Go ahead and flip around.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie continue for south departure.
Manzanillo Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie continue for
GPS
self
is now
departure.
taking over. You see a little bit of white caps there in some of the water. We do have now a 15 knot tailwind behind us. So this is Manzanillo. It was pretty gnarly coming in here. This is real-time weather. The other day I did the real-time weather and I adjusted the time for the morning, but couldn't even see, and I was concerned about, you know, some of the hills I might not have enough clearance, because the clearance, of course, is my responsibility. But I couldn't see the runway until I got right on top of it. And if you get a chance, check out that last video there. I got 1080p, broadcasting 1080p, 60 frames a second with 6,000, I think it is. It's on the GeForce Experience is 6. I believe that's 6 for 6,000. The bit rate for 6. Pretty much an empty beach down there, no hotels or anything. I think Manzanillo does have some hotels. It is a tourist attraction. And even where we're going to Zihuatanejo, I think that's how you pronounce it. We'll have Bing help us out. We'll talk to Bing here in a minute. So what I'm doing now is I'm backing off a little bit on my mixture, and I am going to go ahead and
Cessna
lower
7 Charlie Charlie
our
leaving my
nose.
airspace frequency change approved.
I'll bring up our nose a little bit. Frequency.
Manzanillo Tower Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie frequency change.
So I'm bringing this right here, this little blue, to about where the Y is. And the Y is our best rate of climb. X is the best angle of climb. G is your glide speed. R, of course, is your rotation. But this is our best angle of climb. This is the best that we can achieve 10,000 at this speed here. Best rate of climbing. best angle, best rate of climb. This is going to be our trajectory. Let's look at that real quick. This is Manzanillo right here, and you can see this blue box right here. This is something that Sky Vector put in there, and it means weather. I'm not exactly sure how to read that, but I do know that it does mean weather. And and then I looked at the Google Maps right here. This is where we're flying from Manzanillo, and we are flying to right here. Stop by. Zihuatanejo. Did I pronounce that correct? No. Zihuatanejo. But anyway, looking at this right here, Zihuatanejo. I gotta change the spelling. Zihuatanejo. No wonder I couldn't pronounce it. Anyway, but we're flying there, and I just wanted to check real quick. If I could do this. Zihuatanejo, that's our destination. And we got Zihuatanejo, search there, and we'll do the weather. So the weather we got right now is 89 degrees and thunderstorms. We go weather channel. Scattered thunderstorms, high 90 winds 10 to 15. So rain 70%. Back to Google Maps. There are some volcanoes. One of the most active volcanoes in this area. It might be back there. I know it's south of Manzanillo. Pacific Ocean. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and request flight following.
Manzanillo approach Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is type Cessna Skyhawk 10 miles southeast of Manzanillo 4,800 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Manzanillo approach. Squawk 0357. Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie radar contact 10 miles southeast of Manzanillo 5,100 feet. Altimeter 29.84.
So it's a low pressure.
Roger Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
Usually the lower the pressure, the more weather you're going to have, of course. Low pressure system. It's like a little cove right there. Looking at Google Maps. They're taking off. Manzanillo. So what we're seeing now is Manzanillo. So that is Manzanillo there. Let's go ahead and take a look with our drone here. I sped it up. So some really nice, look at this. It's just probably some really nice resorts and homes and whatnot there. It's like a little pier there, a golf course right there. So yeah, a good destination area there for not as popular as Acapulco, or I should say not as well known as Acapulco or Puerto Vallarta, but certainly a place where you can see there's a lot of, look at the swimming pools there. That's got to be huge, and a lot of activity here, hotels, and probably a very beautiful place to live. There's a baseball field and then a football pitch, as they say in Britain, a pitch. Can't imagine in real life the beauty that this place would produce, or that this place has. Very nice. Look at that. Probably mostly the tourist industry. They might have a little bit of industrial. There's probably a fuel depot there for the ships, and a power plant and whatnot. You can see like an outline of a ship right there. We are now at 7,000. I got the mixture backed off. And that's a testing 1, 2, 3, 4, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And par for the course. It sounds like I'm crackling again. This is with GeForce experience. Apparently they were saying, some people were saying, download the older version of GeForce experience and install it. That'll get rid of the crackling. And they said take off all of your microphone enhancements, and that'll stop the crackling. Well, I didn't download the oldest GeForce experience. I always like to have the latest of everything. And hopefully they fix it though. If I have crackling going on, I don't know if it's Microsoft Flight Simulator that's causing the crackling, or if it's GeForce Experience, or both. My son says that I should download the OBS software and broadcast with that. And I might do that one of these days, just to try a different platform. But the crackling that I have with my voice at some point will go away. Sometimes it won't be there, and then it'll come and then go. So whatever. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what I need to do to fix it. And at this point, I'm just going to have to deal with it, I guess. Testing 1,
Cessna
2,
7 Charlie
3,
Charlie
4.
contact Mexico Center on 123.0. Good day.
123.0 for Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie. Mexico Center Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 9,100 feet.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie Mexico Center altimeter 29.85. Continue as planned.
2985. Bring it up just a little bit there. Alrighty, so we are just about to altitude here. It took us about 2.7 gallons for our climb. We got about 8 gallons an hour, 39 gallons left. So we got plenty of fuel. We are now at altitude. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to, as we achieve altitude, got it at the RPMs at 2,500. I'm in the green, 75% fuel, 25. We'll just keep that pretty much where it is, I think. Keep an eye on it. Just right at the top of the green. We have 7-knot tailwind. We've got some weather right here. We are going to be going a little bit over some mountainous terrain right there, but not too bad. And we do have weather in there. It doesn't look like we have a whole lot of weather to deal with in at our destination. What I want to do is I want to look. I don't think there's an ATIS here. No, it's just an approach in italic. So what I want to do though is I can see the weather right here. It's 210 at 10 knots. And we've got runway 9 and runway 27. So since the wind is 210, or the wind, since the wind is at 210, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set my procedure now. Select an approach. And we'll just do an RNAV to 27. And then we've got amoeba or Seagull. So amoeba or Seagull. Seagull is more close to the mountains. Amoeba is closer to the coast. We'll go ahead and select that one. And go ahead and build the numbers. Go ahead and load that. And so our lowest or final approach phase is 1200. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead now and set our altitude to 1200. Select our altitude to 1200, and I'm going to go ahead and tap the VNAV button. That shows our vertical pad. And so now on our flight plan we've got an hour and 21 minutes before we start descending. So this is quite a flight. It's a long flight. What my goal is with these flights, of course, is to fly all the way down to South America and back, and then of course discover all of this all along, and see if we discover anything, and then just some of the events we encountered, like yesterday, encountering that Category 1 hurricane. I had no idea when I was taking off that there was a Category 1 hurricane over Manzanillo. So that was actually pretty interesting. countering all of that. Looking at the Google Maps here, we are now over this area right here. I believe, anyway. This area right here. This area right here. So our next city right here is Aquacola. This is all in Colima, Mexico. State of Colima, Mexico. Some kind of way my drone gets switched back to my drone and it's like really way askew. It's interesting how that happens. Bing, what can you tell us about the state of Colima, Mexico?
Searching for Colima, Mexico. Hello, this is Bing. I'm happy to tell you about Colima, Mexico. Colima is a small state of western Mexico on the central Pacific coast and includes the 4 oceanic Revillagigedo Islands. It shares its name with its capital and main city, Colima. Geography. Colima covers a territory of 5,627 square kilometers and is the 4th smallest state in Mexico. It borders the states of Jalisco and Michoacan and the Pacific Ocean. It also includes the Revillagigedo Islands, which are under federal jurisdiction but considered part of the municipality of Manzanillo. The state has a diverse geography, ranging from coastal plains to mountainous regions with volcanoes. The most notable volcano is the Colima volcano, also known as the Volcan de Fuego, which is one of the most active and potentially dangerous volcanoes in North America. Colima has a tropical climate, with hot and humid summers and mild winters. The average annual temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, and the average annual rainfall is 1,055 millimeters. The state is prone to hurricanes, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions. History. Colima was inhabited by various indigenous groups before the Spanish conquest, such as the Nahuas, Otomis, Toltecs, and Chicamicas. The most prominent pre-Hispanic culture was that of the Colima people, who developed a distinctive ceramic art style featuring dogs, birds, and human figures. The Spanish explorer Hernán Cortés sent an envoy to found Colima in 1523 near the coast, but the city was later moved inland to its current location. Colima was an important base for the Spanish expansion along the Pacific coast, but it also faced resistance from the indigenous population and pirates. Colima became a state in 1856 after separating from Jalisco. It played a role in various national conflicts, such as the Mexican War of Independence, the Reform War, and the Mexican Revolution. In the 20th century, Colima experienced economic and social development, especially in agriculture, tourism, and industry. Demographics. According to the 2020 census, Colima had a population of 731,391 people, making it the second least populous state in Mexico. The majority of the population is mestizo, mixed European and indigenous ancestry, followed by indigenous, Afro-Mexican, and European groups. The most spoken indigenous languages are Nahuatl, Purapeca, and Otomi. The largest cities in Colima are: city population.
Okay, so I think that volcano that they're talking about is probably this one right here. Tell us about the volcano in Colima, Mexico.
Searching for Colima volcano.
That's probably that one right there.
The Colima volcano is one of the most fascinating and impressive natural features of Mexico. Here are some interesting facts about it. Location and name. The Colima volcano is located in the western part of Mexico, on the border between the states of Colima and Jalisco. It is about 125 kilometers south of Guadalajara, the second largest city in Mexico. The Colima volcano is also known as Volcan de Fuego, volcano of fire, because of its frequent and explosive eruptions. It is part of the Colima volcanic complex, which includes two other volcanoes, Nevado de Colima and El Cantaro. The name Colima comes from the Nahuatl word Caliman, which means place dominated by the god of fire. The indigenous people of the region considered the volcano to be sacred and a manifestation of their deity. Structure and activity. The Colima volcano is a stratovolcano, which means that it is made up of multiple layers of hardened lava and ash. Due to its constant activity, the lava that flows from its interior hardens before reaching very far, so its altitude increases constantly. The Colima volcano is the youngest and most active volcano in Mexico. It has erupted more than 40 times since 1576, with the most recent eruption occurring in 2018.
That's amazing.
Some of the largest eruptions were in 1585, 1913, and 2005. The Colima volcano is also one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Mexico because it is located near populated areas and produces pyroclastic flows, which are fast-moving mixtures of hot gas and rock that can destroy everything in their path. About 300,000 people live within 40 kilometers of the volcano. Beauty and attraction. The Colima volcano is a stunning sight to behold.
Come on.
Especially when it is covered with
lost
snow
my...
or when it emits plumes of ash.
Anyway, I lost...
It can be seen from various viewpoints.
Lost use to my drone, I don't know. Touched the button and it just went crazy. But anyway, that's the Colima volcano.
The Colima volcano is also a popular destination for tourists and adventurers who want to admire its beauty and witness its power. There are several trails and routes that
anyway, that's enough. That's the Colima volcano over there. Oh. I don't know what I did, and I just all of a sudden. Okay, well, she's still going. F6. Camera.
Who is she? Who is she?
Anyway, it seems like it's not going as fast as it should, but anyway. But that's the Colima volcano. We were coming on it, and I was trying to get both hands on it, and then I hit some kind of button, and all of a sudden it was just like wonky. So anyway, back to the plane. Sometimes anyway, the Colima volcano is also a popular destination for tourists and adventurers who want to admire its beauty and witness its power. There are several trails and routes that lead to the base of, or the summit of the volcano, as well as guided tours and camping sites. However, visitors must be careful and follow the recommendations of local authorities as the volcano can erupt at any time. So 2018 is the last time it erupted. That's pretty recent. There's another one that's about, I think, 100 miles south of Mexico City. Of course, Mexico City, the elevation of the terrain there is about 7,000 feet. Kind of like a mile-high city there. And, but volcano there, I forget the name of it, has been erupting lately. What's the name of the volcano that's been erupting south of Mexico City?
Searching for volcano south of Mexico City. The volcano that's been erupting south of Mexico City is called Popocatépetl, which means smoking mountain in Nahuatl. It is one of the most active and dangerous volcanoes in Mexico and North America. Here are some facts about it. Location and name. Popocatépetl is located about 70 kilometers southeast of Mexico City, in the states of Puebla, Morelos, and Mexico. It is part of the Trans-Mexican Volcanic Belt, a chain of volcanoes that stretches across the country. Popocatépetl is also known as El Popo or Don Goyo by the locals. The latter name refers to Gregorio Chino Popoca, a legendary warrior who died defending his people from the Spanish invaders. His spirit is believed to reside in the volcano. Structure and activity. Popocatépetl is a stratovolcano, which means that it is composed of layers of lava, ash, and rock. It has a height of 5,426 meters, 17,802 feet, making it the second highest peak in Mexico and the fifth highest in North America. Popocatépetl is also one of the most dangerous volcanoes in Mexico because it poses a threat to millions of people who live nearby or in its path of ash and gas. The volcano can produce pyroclastic flows, lahars, landslides, and floods that can destroy everything in their way. The authorities have established an exclusion zone of 12 kilometers around the crater and have prepared evacuation plans in case of a major eruption. Beauty and attraction. Popocatépetl is a stunning sight to behold, especially when it is covered with snow or when it erupts spectacularly at night. It can be seen from various places in Mexico City, Puebla, and other surrounding towns, or from aerial views. Popocatépetl is also a popular destination for tourists and adventurers who want to admire its beauty and witness its power. There are several trails and routes that lead to the base or the summit of the volcano, as well as guided tours and camping sites. However, visitors must be careful and follow the recommendations of local authorities, as the volcano can erupt at any time. However, visitors must be careful and follow the recommendations of local authorities, as the volcano can erupt at any time.
Okay.
However, visitors must...
I think she's stuck. But anyway, yeah, the drone here, you know, I mean, it's just, it doesn't reset itself horizontally. It wasn't like that whenever the Microsoft Flight Simulator first came out. Sometimes you go back to the drone and it's like this, or it's like this, and then you're constantly just having to try to level it out to the horizon. I don't know why it's like that. Maybe it has an effect on the simulator if it is otherwise. Anyway, I don't know. We are an hour and 9 minutes from Zihuatanejo. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tell us about Zihuatanejo, Mexico. Okay, I did say it right.
Searching for Zihuatanejo, Mexico.
Zihuatanejo, Mexico.
Zihuatanejo is a charming coastal town in the state of Guerrero, Mexico. It is a popular tourist destination that offers beautiful beaches, friendly people, and an easygoing lifestyle. Here are some things to know about it. Location and name. Zihuatanejo is located on the Pacific coast of Mexico, about 240 kilometers northwest of Acapulco and 5 kilometers south of Ixtapa, a modern resort town.
Ixtapa.
It is part of the Costa Grande, a section of the Mexican Pacific coast that stretches from Acapulco to Lázaro, Cárdenas. The name Zihuatanejo comes from the Nahuatl word Zihuatlan, which means place of women. It refers to the western paradise of the Nahuatl mythology, where goddesses lived and guided the sun to the underworld at dusk. Zihuatanejo is also known as Zihua by the locals and visitors, who pronounce it as Zihua. It is sometimes called Ixtapa Zihuatanejo to distinguish it from other places with similar names, such as Zihuatlan in Veracruz. History and culture. Zihuatanejo was inhabited by various indigenous groups before the Spanish conquest, such as the Purapeca, the Quitlotec, and the Contal. The area was part of the Tarascan Empire until 1522, when it was conquered by the Spanish. Zihuatanejo remained a small fishing village for centuries, until the 1970s, when the federal government decided to develop Ixtapa as a tourist resort. This brought more visitors and infrastructure to Zihuatanejo, but also preserved its traditional charm and character. Zihuatanejo has a rich and diverse cultural heritage, influenced by its indigenous roots, colonial history, and coastal location. Some of its most representative expressions are the Guitar Festival, an annual event that showcases local and international guitarists of various genres, such as flamenco, jazz, blues, and rock. The Sail Fest, an annual fundraiser that combines sailing races, concerts, auctions, and parties to support education for disadvantaged children in Zihuatanejo. The gastronomy of Zihuatanejo, which includes dishes such as pescado a la tala, grilled fish with spicy sauce, pozole verde, hominy soup with chicken and herbs, torritas de pescado, fish strips marinated in lime juice and chili, and nieve de coco, coconut ice cream. Zihuatanejo has 4 main beaches to enjoy: Playa Principal, where fishermen sell their catch in the morning; Playa La Madera, a small beach with calm waters and restaurants; Playa La Ropa, a long beach with soft sand and water sports; and Playa Las Gatas, a secluded beach with coral reefs and snorkeling. Zihuatanejo also offers many other attractions and activities for visitors, such as exploring the Archaeological Museum of Zihuacan, which displays artifacts from the pre-Hispanic cultures that inhabited the region; visiting the artisan market of Zihuatanejo, where you can find handicrafts such as pottery, textiles, jewelry, and paintings; taking a boat tour to see dolphins, whales, turtles, and other marine life in the Bay of Zihuatanejo; learning to surf at one of the many surf schools or spots in Zihuatanejo or Ixtapa; relaxing at one of the many spas or wellness centers that offer massages, facials, yoga, and meditation; relaxing at one of the many spas or wellness centers that offer massages, facials, yoga, and meditation.
Okay. She gets stuck, I think, at the end there. Tell us about the airport over there.
Searching for Zihuatanejo Airport. The airport over there is the Ixtapa Zihuatanejo International Airport, IATA, ZIH, IKO, MMZH. It is an airport that serves the cities of Ixtapa and Zihuatanejo, as well as the surrounding areas in the state of Guerrero, Mexico. Here are some things to know about it. Location and name. It has 1 terminal building and 1 runway. The airport is also known as Aeropuerto Internacional de Ixtapa Zihuatanejo in Spanish. It was opened in 1998 and replaced the old Zihuatanejo Airport, which was located closer to the city center. Services and facilities. The airport offers various services and facilities for passengers, such as a VIP lounge operated by Global Lounge Network, which provides snacks, drinks, Wi-Fi, newspapers, and magazines. Access is available for members of Priority Pass or Lounge Club, or by paying at the door. Car rental agencies, such as Alamo, Avis, Budget, Europacar, Hertz, and Thrifty. Taxi services, which are regulated by the airport authority and have fixed rates depending on the destination. Free Wi-Fi access throughout the terminal. Airlines and destinations. The airport operates with national and international flights, mainly from the United States and Canada. Some of the airlines that fly to and from the airport are Aeromexico Connect, Mexico City; Air Canada, Montreal, Trudeau, Toronto, Pearson, Vancouver, seasonal; Alaska Airlines, Los Angeles; American Airlines, Phoenix, Sky Harbor; American Eagle, Dallas, Fort Worth, seasonal; Magna Charters, Mexico City; Sun Country Airlines, Minneapolis/St. Paul, seasonal; Sunwing Airlines, Edmonton,
Okay.
Saskatoon.
Anyway, there's a lot of airports, a lot of people servicing the area there. We're looking right now at some of the coastal areas of where we are right now, and let's see if we can find that on the map. We are pretty much, I think, in this area here. What we're looking at anyway. Some farms, not a whole lot of cities here. Look, bring back to the plane to kind of give us a scope of where we are. And looks like we got some mountains ahead, straight ahead. We do have some terrain to go over. We do have some weather as well. Back down, back up on this. Thunderstorms in the area. Don't know if we're going to see any lightning. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, at this point I'm not hearing any of the crackling. Maybe we're doing okay. Well, I tell you what, you know, whenever you ask Bing some things here, it's pretty thorough. Of course, they were going on and on and on. So, really is some interesting facts there about the volcanoes here in Mexico. So Popocatépetl, Popocatépetl volcano. How do you pronounce that volcano that's erupting in Mexico?
Searching for how to pronounce Popocatépetl. Popocatépetl is a Nahuatl word that means smoky mountain. It is pronounced as Popocatépetl in Spanish and Popocatépetl in Nahuatl. You can also listen to the audio pronunciations of the word on various websites.
Okay. Don't think we have a whole lot of weather that we have to deal with right now. Most of it's to our left. We are over some of the mountainous terrain, some of the more sparsely populated areas of Mexico. There's some of these roads here, dangerous roads, as some of those documentaries have, in Mexico. Weather to the left, a little bit of weather ahead, not too bad. Most of our weather is to the left there. 57 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a direct now to make a procedure here. Go to the flight plan here and hit the button there. I'm going to just go ahead and do it direct to MMZO. That's our initial approach fix. So I'm just going to go ahead and this is going to adjust the top of the set a little bit. So what we're going to do, what it had us doing before, is it was having us go to the runway and then going to MMZO. And then, anyway, we're going to do it direct here. Activate. So now we're just going to go ahead and go directly to, again there a little bit. So I can't zoom in without it going behind that menu there. But we're going direct to the initial approach fix, and then we'll turn around toward the runway. Now, when we get, we do have a little bit of weather there too, but we'll see what it's like. But when we get close, we're going to contact the tower, and they might have us land on the other runway, but I doubt it. It's probably going to be runway 27. So we are now 55 minutes to our top set. And by the time we get to MMZO, we'll be at 5,000, and our final approach fix will be at 1,200. There we go. It's kind of like a. So there's our initial approach fix here, and then we're going to go to Zulu Hotel 503, Zulu Hotel 500. And then our final approach fix, this is lining up with the runway going this way. So the runway will be to our left as we go by. Okay, so it looks like we're in, there's some roads down there, but with the drone here, we were looking at pretty much a wilderness area. A few roads. This is from the last time that I made when I made the direct. This isn't our entire flight plan. This is from the time that I made the direct to Amoeba. So we are now 57 minutes from Amoeba and 48 minutes to top of the set. Top of the set looks like it's just about right over where the airport is. Doesn't look like we have any flights flying around in this area, so I'm not even bringing up flight radar 24. I contacted flight following there, the Mexico Center, and haven't heard anything since. So. Of course, in Zihuatanejo, just south of there, is a very famous place, and a lot of people have heard of. It's called Acapulco. And so that's going to be our next destination. Flight radar 24, they have one jet there flying out of there. Nothing really in between. There's some flights, of course, by Puerto Vallarta, but less touristy area. I would imagine that if you went to Zihuatanejo rather than Acapulco, would be a less touristy area. I bet a little bit more economical. Hi Bing, what can you tell us about the state of Guerrero in Mexico?
Searching for State of Guerrero, Mexico. The state of Guerrero is one of the 32 states that comprise the 32 federal entities of Mexico in Mexico. It has a population of about 3.5 million people and is divided into 81 municipalities. It is located in southwestern Mexico and is bounded by the Pacific Ocean to the south and west and by the states of Michoacan, Mexico, Morelos, Puebla, and Oaxaca. The capital city is Chilpancingo and the largest city is Acapulco. The state has a diverse geography, culture, and ethnic composition. It is mostly mountainous and rugged, with flat areas limited to small
Going to
mesas and the
128.5 Cessna 7
The
Charlie
main
Charlie.
river is the Balsas, which receives many tributaries
Mexico
from
Center
the
Cessna
Sierra
November
Madre
Charlie
del
77
Sur mountain
Charlie
range.
Charlie
The
10,000
climate
feet.
varies from tropical to temperate, depending on the altitude and location. The state's economy is based on agriculture, mining, and tourism. The state has rich mineral resources, such as silver, gold, copper, lead, antimony, and iron.
There's gold in
The
them darn
state
hills.
is also famous for its tourist attractions, such as Acapulco, Zihuatanejo, Ixtapa, and Tasca. Acapulco was once a prominent port for Manila galleons in colonial times and is now a popular resort city with a vibrant nightlife. Zihuatanejo and Ixtapa are
That's where
neighboring
we're going.
seaside towns that offer beautiful beaches and water sports. Tasca is a colonial town that has preserved its architecture and is known for its silver craftsmanship. The state was named after Vicente Guerrero, one of the most prominent leaders in the Mexican War of Independence and the second president of Mexico. He was born in Tixtla, a town in Guerrero, in 1782. He fought alongside José María Morelos and later led the resistance against the Spanish colonial rule. He became president in 1829 but was overthrown and executed in 1831.
Wow.
The state has a diverse ethnic composition, with a significant presence of indigenous communities and Afro-Mexicans. Some of the indigenous groups are Nahuas, Mixtecs, Tlapanecs, Amuzgos, and formerly Quitlatecs. They have their own languages, cultures, traditions, and customs. The Afro-Mexicans are descendants of African slaves who were brought to the region by the Spanish colonizers. They mostly live in the Costa Chica region along the coast and have contributed to the state's music, dance, cuisine, and folklore. I hope this information helps you learn more about Guerrero.
Yep. Thanks
If
a
you
lot.
want to know more details,
Okay, so if you want to know more details, go to Bing, and Bing will give you more details. And they have references to some websites where they get a lot of their information from. So we are, let me go ahead and go back to the plane. I'm not sure what river that is. I don't know if I can actually find that on Google Maps. There's some of the rivers. The destination, of course, is Zihuatanejo. And there's the Manzanillo where we took off. So maybe that river is in this area here. Not exactly sure, it just looks all the same. Have quite a large river right there coming up. We're going to be flying right over that. That would be, I would imagine that would be this one here. So that would be Peralta. Still a little ways ahead here. I don't know why it's defaulting to the side now. I don't think it did that before. You press the X and the A on your Xbox controller. It's kind of like a homing beacon there. And before it would bring it to the back end. Now it brings it to the starboard side of the plane for whatever reason. I don't know if it did that. But anyway, it's not a big deal. But anyway, so our plane is over there, and we're bringing the drone a little bit closer to the coast to see if we see anything. And there's not really anything here except just a local road there. And that would be, what road is that for Google Maps? That would be 200. So, looking right along the coast there. I don't know if I can actually identify. Maybe it's this one right here. Maybe this is where we are. Some developments here. Probably very, very beautiful. Real-time time and real-time weather. 90 nautical miles from Riva. My son was asking me why I don't just find something adventurous like going in a stunt plane or something like that, or, and I can do all of that too. But I told him that I like to explore, and boy, if I could do this in real life, take a Cessna flight all the way down to South America and back, all along the coast, the coastal areas, that would be just an experience of a lifetime. Of course, if I did something like that in real life, I would definitely want to, be a vlogger and have a YouTube channel or something and share my experiences. But this is just something that I can fly down to these various cities, and there's just discoveries to be made, and things that you encounter, and then you get a little bit more familiar with the geography also in the area. And of course, with Bing and Google Maps and whatnot, you can explore, certain areas, for certain things. For example, the shrimp farms over in Mexico. We were flying over some of the shrimp farms and didn't know that Mexico was one of the leaders in the industry of shrimp farms, and things like that. I like finding out things like that. And that time whenever we were flying over a part of Mexico, and we discovered that, what is that? And we looked at it closer with Google Maps. Come to find out, it's a prison. I forget what city was close by, but it's in a couple of videos ago, and we came upon, I put on there on the timestamp there, or the chapters there, I put in there, don't go here. There's somewhere you don't want to go. But yeah, I wouldn't even known of anything about that prison had I not been flying over it with Flight Simulator. So, neat thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator is all the map data, all the beam data, satellite data, and all of that stuff is really there. Of course, I wouldn't be doing this in Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 because it's just no realism as far as what I'm flying with. The realism as far as the time it takes to get there, that would be there. But this has, it's just, when you look at that river there, when you look at that road there, there's a road right there. You know that in real life there's really a road there. That's what makes this really neat. And of course the cities, as we come across the cities, and points of interest and whatnot. And the other thing too that makes this interesting is the real-time weather. Like that flight yesterday, or actually it was 2 days ago. I did it Friday night, but I did it for 6:30 in the morning, going from Puerto Vallarta to Manzanillo, and happened to be a hurricane there right over Manzanillo, and of course looking at the NEXRAD on the computer, it had a big red spot over the runway, and I went into total IMC conditions, heavy rain, following the visual approach guidance from Garmin G1000, and did a blind landing onto the runway. And I thought, oh, it's just fun, experiencing that. Of course, in real life, you wouldn't want to fly into, do a blind landing like that. Even with a Garmin G1000, you would want to do it. But it just shows you the capabilities of Garmin G1000. If you ever did get into IMC conditions like that, flying off of the Garmin G1000, you could have guidance to the runway. It was just like at the last minute, the very last second that the runway appeared. It was pretty fun. It was interesting. Pretty cool. If you'd stretch a beach right there with, there's a small little city there, but just a big long beach there with hardly, I mean, you have the whole thing to yourself. This is real-time time and real-time weather. Pretty long beach here. Wondering if this is a mine right here. Looks like this might be a mine right here. See if I can find it on yeah, that's a mine. Let's see if I can find it on Google Maps here. Where would that be? There's the beach right there. I think that's the beach. Okay, let's figure out where I am here. There's our destination. There it is. There it is. So that is, what are they digging up here? not exactly sure what they're digging up. But there it is. There's a mine. Okay, let me... Volcan Mine. Search right here. Yeah, it's all in Spanish. So I have no idea what they're digging up there. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Operación Volcan Mine Las. Let's see if I can go to Google Translate. Google Translate. And then we'll go ahead and detect language. Volcano, Las Truchas volcano operation. Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, I know it's a mine there. Past it. There it is. And then a town right there. What town would that be? Real quickly. That would be Michoacan, Mexico. And then the bigger town there would be Recito Portuario, Michoacan. So we are about ready to fly over. There's a Buenos Aires. But looks like we are out ready to. We are probably over the state of Michoacan, yeah, and then there's Guerrero right there. So anyway, going back to our plane here. What can you tell us about Michoacan, Mexico?
Searching for Macroecon, Mexico.
Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
Macroecon, Mexico is a term that refers to the study of the economy of Mexico as a whole, including its structure, performance, policies, and challenges. Some of the main aspects of Macroecon Mexico are GDP, the gross domestic product. GDP is the total value of goods and services produced in a country in a given period.
This
According
is
to the World.
Tell us about the state of Michoacan, Mexico. It's still putting in Macroecon. Anyway, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but that's not Macarico. That's Michoacan. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the plane here. So there is an airport down there. Let's look at the nearest here. Trying to get into there. There we go. that's where we're going. So I guess that's the nearest. I don't know what. Looks like there's a runway down there, right? Isn't that a runway there? Maybe not. Bring it back to the plane. Now it's going to the back of the plane. Yeah, I don't know if that was a. I guess it's not a runway.
Costera 2455 climb and maintain
Oh,
9,300
that is a runway there. But on my plane here, whenever I go to the nearest, there's the nearest right there, and it's doing where our destination is 48. So I don't know why. That would be the nearest. So apparently, this one right here is not listed. The Microsoft Flight Simulator, is this one airport that's not listed? Or maybe it's not a runway. Maybe it's not an airport anymore. I don't know. So we are over. Let's see if we can identify this again. I'm trying to figure out what city it is, but there's no. I guess the city would be Lázaro, Cárdenas. Lázaro, Cárdenas. What can you tell us about Lázaro Cárdenas, Mexico? If I pronounced it correctly.
Searching for Lázaro Cárdenas, Mexico. Lázaro Cárdenas can refer to two different things in Mexico, a former president and a city. Lázaro Cárdenas del Rio was a Mexican army officer and politician who served as president of Mexico.
Tell us about the city.
Searching for Lázaro Cárdenas City Tourism.
That'll work.
The city of Lázaro Cárdenas is a major port city on the Pacific coast of Michoacan. It has a population of about 170,000 people and was founded in 1931. It is named after the former president who was born in the same state. Some of the tourist attractions in Lázaro Cárdenas are Manzanillo Beach, a beach with clear water and white sand, ideal for swimming, surfing, and relaxing. Zona Arqueológica El Naranjal, an ancient site with pre-Hispanic ruins and a museum that displays artifacts and information about the culture and history of the region. A more tropical cocktail bar and kitchen, a bar and restaurant that offers live music, cocktails, and Mexican cuisine. Pura Vida Yoga Troncones, a yoga studio that offers classes, workshops.
Okay. So there's a lot of things there about that. What state is this city in?
The city of Lázaro Cárdenas is in the state of Michoacan, which is in the central part of Mexico. Michoacan is known for its natural beauty, cultural diversity, and gastronomy. Michoacan is known for its natural beauty, cultural diversity, and gastronomy.
Okay, you said that. Tell us more about Michoacan. I was saying it wrong. It's Michoacan is how you pronounce it.
Searching for Michoacan. Michoacan is a state in west-central Mexico with a coastline on the Pacific Ocean. It has an area of 58,599 square kilometers and a population of about 4.7 million people. The capital and largest city is Morelia, which was founded in 1541 and has a rich colonial heritage. Michoacan has a diverse geography, ranging from coastal plains to mountain ranges and volcanoes. It is home to the Sierra Madre del Sur, where the Paracutan volcano erupted in 1943 and created a new cinder cone. It also has several lakes and rivers, such as Lake Chapala, Lake Pátzcuaro, Lake Cuitzeo, the Lerma River, and the Balsas River. Michoacan has a rich history and culture influenced by the Puripeka Empire, which dominated the region before the Spanish conquest. The Puripeka people still live in Michoacan and preserve their language, traditions, and crafts. Michoacan was also the birthplace of José María Morelos, one of the leaders of the Mexican War of Independence. Michoacan's economy is based on agriculture, mining, petroleum, forestry, and tourism. Some of the main crops are corn, sugarcane, coffee, fruits, and vegetables. Michoacan also has a vibrant artistic and cultural scene, known for its pottery, textiles, wood carving, music, dance, and cuisine. Some of the tourist attractions in Michoacan are Morelia, the capital city, which has a historic center declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. It has many colonial buildings, such as the cathedral, the aqueduct, the government palace, and several churches and museums. Lake Pátzcuaro, a lake surrounded by picturesque towns and villages, such as Tzintzuntzin, Pátzcuaro, Santa Clara del Cabra, and Irangaricuero. It is famous for its Day of the Dead celebrations, when people decorate altars and graves with flowers and candles. Monarch Butterfly Biosphere Reserve, a natural reserve that hosts millions of monarch butterflies that migrate from Canada and the United States every year. It is a unique spectacle of nature that can be observed from November to March. Paracutan Volcano, a volcano that emerged from a cornfield in 1943 and grew to 424 meters in height. It is considered one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It can be reached by hiking or horseback riding from nearby villages. It can be reached by hiking or horseback riding from nearby villages.
It can be reached by... Oh, I thought I was going to say it again. Yeah, Bing wasn't doing that at first, but now it seems to be repeating the last line 2 or 3 times. But I'm using Bing AI as our information guide, and it's really cool because it's, as a, for example, there, I was talking about. I was asking, you ask about, for example, when I said, tell us about Lázaro, Cárdenas, Mexico, and it would come out with, information on it, and then I would just say, tell us about the city, and it would already know what I'm talking about. And then I would say, so what state is the city in? And it would know what I'm talking about. And then, it's like talking to, it's a little bit more of an advanced way of, it's artificial intelligence. It's a more advanced way of doing a search. It's like, maybe talking to somebody about a certain subject. And there's it goes up to 30 on your particular subject that you're talking about. Sometimes it drops off, loses contact or something, and then you have to start over. But it's pretty cool. It's you can talk about, say I can talk about, let's talk about Illinois, and then it'll give you information on Illinois. And then you can say, well, what's the largest city? You don't have to say, well, what's the largest city in Illinois? You just say, well, so what's the largest city? And it'll tell you, well, the largest city in Illinois is Chicago. And then, it just, so who's the governor? And it'll tell you, it already knows you're talking about Illinois. And so that's pretty cool how Bing AI is coming along with its, and it uses, of course, Bing to search its information. So it's fun. A lot of people are afraid of AI. But I say use AI as a tool. Costera 2455. Costera 2455. Costera 245.
Climb and maintain 9,300 feet. Costera
Oh, they replied
2455.
finally. Costera. C172. No. I'm not exactly sure which what they're talking about. Or what plane they're talking about. We can find a 2.55 range somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure where we are here. Puerto Vallarta. Guerrero. There's Mexico City. We are between Manzanillo. Kind of, there's Acapulco. There's our destination right here. But I don't see who they were talking about on flight radar 24. So we are now, come on, uh, 21 minutes from our initial approach fix, and we are 13 minutes away from our descent. Well, it looks like we're doing okay on weather. We got a few, looks like a few thunderstorms this
Costera
afternoon.
2455.
Costera 2455. Costera 2455.
Climb and maintain 9,300
Doing a Google
feet.
search on it.
Costera 2455.
It's coming up with a Mexican restaurant. Yeah, I'm not sure. C-O-S. It pronounced or spelled it wrong. Whatever I. C-O-S. C-O-S-T-E-R-A. 2455. Ocean View Cabin, cruise line. Maybe I put in their flight. Vistera. I'm not finding Costera, not even on Google. So I don't know what Costera 2455 is. I'm not finding it on Flight Radar 24 or anything. Hi Frederick, how you doing? We're about ready to land, or we're approaching the airport in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo. Zihuatanejo. I don't know how to pronounce it. Zihuatanejo. But what it is this city over here, which is just toward this mine right there. But don't know what kind of mine it is. There's Acapulco, that's our next destination. But we are going to Zihuatanejo. This is the city we're going to. And the runway that we are going to is right over here. So this is going to be pretty much, it's probably not as famous, well obviously not as famous as Acapulco. But this is a scope of where we're going to. So there's some tourist destinations there. I would imagine there's some pretty fancy hotels up there. And I would imagine this area right here would be a little bit more economical to go to versus Acapulco. Beautiful sunset there. Not as touristy, I would imagine. because they probably don't get any closer. Although that's a pretty fancy hotel here. And along the beach, some beautiful areas there in Mexico. So that is our destination. And Frederick, I think you were following one of my flights the other night, and the computer or the video locked up. I think I had too high of a bit rate, and so what I did is I went back into it and lowered the bit rate, and then the GeForce experience thought that I was still broadcasting. So I ended up having to get out of it, reboot my machine, get back into it, and so I did another flight. That was the flight to Manzanillo, and at the end of the flight I flew into a hurricane, and at the end of the hurricane I got it all chaptered out now, but I mean at the end of the hurricane, at the end of the flight I landed blind right in the middle of the hurricane, so that was pretty interesting. We are now 8 minutes from top of the set. I'm going to go ahead and contact. I want to contact the airport now. We'll go and cancel
Mexico
flight
Center,
following.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, cancel flight following.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, Mexico Center cancellation received. Squawk 7000. Frequency change approved.
All right, and then the airport right here, we're going to go ahead and contact the airport. That is the closest one to the tower. I'm pretty sure it's going to
Zihuatanejo
be
Tower,
27.
Cessna November Charlie 77
That's
Charlie
what we're
Charlie,
set up
17
for.
miles west, 10,000 feet to land.
Cessna November
27
Charlie,
it is.
77 Charlie Charlie, Zihuatanejo
292.
Tower. Altimeter 29.82, wind 215 at 10. Make left traffic runway 27.
Go ahead and get off of here, so.
Fly left downwind runway 27
I hope
Cessna
I'm not
7 Charlie
crackling.
Charlie.
I think I am. Yes, nice warm weather, nice day to go swimming. So we are set up. We are now 7 minutes from top of the set, and the weather is fine. I was concerned that we might run into some thunderstorms, as on the flight radar 24 we do have, I mean a Skybear, we do have some thunderstorms noted in the area, but looks like we're going to be just fine weather-wise. And anyway, what we're going to do is we have the top of the set right there, and then our initial approach fence, we should be flying down to 5,000 to our initial approach fence, which is Amoeba, and then from Amoeba to Zulu Hotel 503, Zulu Hotel 500, and then our final approach fence is Zulu Hotel 501, and our set, the assigned altitude to 1200, which is the final approach fix. What the final approach fix is calling for. "7:43 a.m. where you are." Well, that's pretty early in the morning. You must be on the other side of the world. I spelled the name of the city wrong. Wow, on the title. I have to correct that after this flight is over, and then when I put the chapters in. This has been a pretty long flight. Probably the whole video is going to be over 2 hours long. Australia, alrighty. So you're enjoying the winter in Australia. Of course, their climate is a lot warmer, most of Australia. So what part of Australia are you in? Minutes, 45 seconds. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hopefully I'm not doing a lot of practice right now. There's the drone here. Bring the drone back to the plane. So now when I home it, it goes back to the back of the plane again. For a while there when I was homing it, it was going to the side of the plane, which was interesting. So these are some of the bigger towns. Again, real quickly, we got just a few minutes left, but we are now. There's Acapulco, and we are in this area right over here. So we should be flying over. This is the runway right there, or the airport. We should be over Zihuatanejo. That is Zihuatanejo. And there's the runway. I believe that's the runway right there. We are now 3 minutes away. So this is I'm pressing the homing button to the runway. That's the direction of the runway. Go ahead and we'll step outside real quick. There's the runway right there. That's our destination, so what we're going to do is just basically circle around and come back and land on runway 27. Take a look real quick if I can speed up the drone. So there is the scope of our runway here. And we'll just go ahead and keep the drone right here. This is our airport. One minute, 35 seconds. State of South Australia. Well, enjoy. I had an opportunity to go to Australia when I was younger. My aunt lived over in Sydney for about 35 years. And she invited me and my brother to go there. And by the time we, had enough money to go, she went back to Germany. But I'll be seeing her here in a couple of months. Germany. Me and my wife are going to be going to Germany. A little bit of storm there ahead of us, but over where we are right now, it's just fine. There's the runway down below. Vertical path, should be getting close. And see if we can find a plane here. There, can't find it. 13 seconds. I don't see anything arming. Okay, there it goes. Vertical path is now loaded. We are now descending. I'm going to go ahead and probably try to go to the top of the, just below the yellow, ribbon there. Oh, you moved there to Australia. Well, that's pretty cool with your girlfriend. So Australia, you'll have to now learn how to drive on the other side of the road. I guess that would probably be the biggest thing to get used to. Driving on the wrong side of the road. I've never had the experience of doing that. I was in Hong Kong and there wasn't a bus before. And they were driving, of course, in Hong Kong on the wrong side of the road. On the left side, I guess. But it was pretty interesting being in that bus and then looking over and not finding the driver where you would normally find the driver in cars. And in Germany before, I was driving on the Autobahn, and of course in Great Britain, they have their steering wheel on the other side of the car. But some of those Great Britain cars will drive in Germany. Sometimes you look over, you don't see a driver there. They're over on the other side. But we are now, I got that diamond right there. I'm going to see if I can load my approach. It's my approach button right there. Yes, so the GP, the glide path, is also loaded. So we've already contacted the tower. We are now 5 minutes from our initial approach distance, and at that initial approach distance, we should be about 5,000 feet. Here's our initial approach distance, and then we'll be doing a turn once we get there. So 5,000 feet, we'll turn. I'm bringing this kind of to the top of the green there, trying to gather as much speed as we can to kind of expedite. It's been a pretty long flight for the Cessna. I wanted to find real quick the fuel that we've used so far. We used 14 gallons of fuel, 27 gallons remaining. Started off with 75% full on the fuel. So I guess that's Ixtapa, I-X-T-A-P-A, Zihuatanejo. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Zihuatanejo. Zihuatanejo. I don't know how you pronounce the Z on there. Zihuatanejo. Maybe you don't pronounce the C. Maybe you pronounce it as an S. Go ahead and bring this down. got some mountainous areas over here, but we're not going to have to worry about that. 1 minute or 2 minutes from estimated time en route to our initial approach phase. Yeah, so no blind landing today. The last video I just did a complete, total blind landing, and then the wind shifted. I was cleared to land, I think on runway 24 or something like that, and the wind shifted, and I had the wind behind me, about probably a 20 knot wind behind me, and I had the power reduced all the way down, flaps full, and I was still going 90 something kilometers or knots. So we are now on our turn. We have reached our initial approach fix. Heading toward Zulu Hotel 503, still descending. I might run into some rain, I don't know. Real-time weather, real-time time. Might get into a little bit of IMC, I don't know. IMC stands for Instrument Meteorological Conditions. Yeah, your comment about clothes, I saw it. But, I'd rather just stick to the subject with Microsoft Flight Simulator and also getting ready to land. Right toward that mountain. There's a mountain right here. Of course, we'll be turning on the final here pretty soon. Backing off now on my power as we get a little bit more dense atmosphere. It has a tendency to go a little faster there. Okay, now I got full rich on my mixture. Two minutes to the bottom of the descent. And the final approach takes, of course, 1200. That diamond right there should be on our flight path pretty soon. Still right now on our vertical path. The flight path should be lighting up green pretty soon. Okay, we are now pointing toward the runway. So we got a little bit of a crosswind right here. We got about 4 knots. Should be clearing me to land here pretty soon. There we go. 215 at 6.
Clear to land runway 27.
So a little bit of a crosswind here.
Clear to land runway 27 Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
See if we can see our plane from the drone. Still not seeing it yet. So our flight path is now active. We are doing an area navigation approach, an RNAV approach. We are almost to our final approach, which is Zulu Hotel Final 1. Now I'm going to slow her way down. I got it to idle. That's 7. Flaps 1. Around 80 knots here for now. We are about a minute to touchdown. I'll go ahead and go full flaps. Let's see if we can see our plane now. Still not seeing it. There's a SLI 2455.
500.
Parkway in sight. There it is. Very calm. I mean, it says about 7 knots on that wind. It just seems like it's very calm. See the windsock there, kind of float to the right there. Okay, autopilot off. Go ahead, reduce power to 0. Aim for that 1,000 foot marker there. Getting pushed around a little bit. Flare. Flaps up.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, turn next taxiway.
So I don't know where the plane went. See if I can see it with the drone. I don't know why this is flashing on and off like this. Since the last update, of course, the mouse is blinking like crazy. I can't do the Xbox version, the lock mode. I have to go back to Legacy.
Charlie Charlie, exit runway when able.
But also since that last update, this thing's
Cessna
been
7
flashing
Charlie
like
Charlie,
crazy.
contact ground on 118.3.
118.3.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
A lot of trees around here.
Zihuatanejo ground Cessna November Charlie
Zihuatanejo.
77 Charlie Charlie
Well, he knows
request
how to
taxi
say
to
it.
parking.
Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie, taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie.
We're not going to the gates. Apparently this is also an international airport, but certainly not as touristy or as popular as Acapulco, which is our next destination. You know, I tell you, I don't know how, but this guy right here, he gets around. He's always there before I am. The same guy. Yeah, I mean, he's good. Alrighty, thank you very much. And go ahead. You know what? I flew the whole flight without flight lights on. Checklist. And welcome to Zihuatanejo. Taking a real quick look around again. We'll go ahead. I've been pressing F6 on there, but I don't know if F6 has been working. F6, okay, so F6 is working. But anyway, I've been pressing it, and it seems like sometimes it doesn't work. But take a look at the airport. This is the airport. This is where we are. I'm embarrassed that I flew this entire flight without lights on. I just got in the plane, started it up, said clear, and didn't click anything on. There's one of the fabulous beaches there. And of course the highway goes to the city, and there's the city. And the video didn't drop off. So it withstood the test of time. I wanted to look real quick at my temperatures. I didn't do that yet. I think We're doing okay though on the temperatures too. Temperatures 88. That's a little high. 88.76. And then 70, 71 for the CPU. Alrighty, this is the brand new, the latest version 536.40 for NVIDIA driver. So anyway, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening. Frederick, I hope you have a great evening. And we'll see you next time.